Hi, my name's Phil and I'm bringing this old canoe stern motorboat back to life. This episode is about putting in the floor. There's one floor level in the cockpit and a lower level up the front here where the bunk is and the toilet. So I've done a mock-up of a deck beam at the end of the forward cabin. There'll be a bulkhead there, a steering position on the starboard side, and a walk through to the forward cabin on the port side. So I haven't showed you fitting all these deck beams, a bit like, because like watching grass grow. But what I'm going to do now that they're all fitted, except for this end, there's a little bit more to do. I'll be pulling it all out and coating all the brackets and the beams with sealing epoxy, and then painting them, and then installing them permanently and putting a floor on top. So that's what this will be all about. I hope you enjoy it. In case I haven't explained any of this to you, I've got two fuel tanks here, two tanks. One is for diesel and that one is for water. They'll be filled internally by these filler caps, and I've marked both the tank and the cap with what's in them, diesel and water. So they'll just unscrew. Now, there will be a box around this, and it will act as a seat and a resting place, probably have a cushion on it. Those tanks are bolted to plywood supports, which are bolted to the floor. Down the bottom here, there's a well on the diesel tank, so I can easily remove water. So there'll be a little hose on that ball valve, which will come down, and I'll just have a container in here somewhere, and an opening, of course, in the floor. So the floor level is going to be like that, up underneath the bunk. And if we look here, the bunk should probably come to about that level. It may end up a bit further forward, maybe 200 or 300, 400 millimeters further forward, which would give us more space underneath here, but I'm not sure what we'd need that space for. So going aft, that's the floor level forward, will be there, and then there'll be a bulkhead here at the end of the forward cabin. There'll be a steering position behind that bulkhead, and the floor level will be the same all the way from that bulkhead through to the back side and the aft side of the cockpit. So all those bearers are in now. I was going to bring the floor further forward at the high level, but I've decided that I'll cut it off at the bulkhead level, so it's easier with headroom to get from the aft floor level to the lower forward level. So you can see that's about, I don't know, 200 millimeters or so lower at the forward end. And this deck beam denotes the back of the forward cabin. So it's about, I think, 650 millimeters high at the outer edge at the aft end, and at the side of the cabin it will be about 450 or so at the forward end. So all that's got to be made yet, so I'm going to remain intent on getting a floor into this boat so that I can walk around on level surfaces. So as well as the box, which will be about 2 inches above those things, in this area here there'll be batteries, and that box will come back level to the engine box, which will be about maybe another 300 millimetres or so higher, so that there's a bit of breathing space for the engine. And then it will come back here and probably take a bend at this point, near that aft engine mount, and go back to 200 millimetres wide at the back end. Now, I have to have a little bit of space there because I've got a cable to change gears, has got to come out of here, and it can't be a giant bend, so I'm going to have to bring that cable around and then underneath the floor and bring it up forward to the steering position. And there'll also be underneath here ball valves for a ball valve for water into the engine. So I'm not sure if that will be in this space or behind this beam. There'll be a hatch here so that we can view the stuffing box to make sure it's not leaking too much, and there'll probably be access down here from the top of the box. So I'm not sure if the box, I'm just not sure yet what I'll do with the box, because I need to see that cable and see how much space it's going to take up. Probably not very much, so I'm thinking that having the engine box sort of come here and taper out to the full width, that'll give us room to walk through between the bench seat, which will be along that side of the cockpit, and the other side as well. So you need a little bit of space to get past that. So, and I want to make these bench seats in the cockpit possible to sleep on as well. So if we'd be able to then have 4 people overnight. So there's all that, and I think when Roger comes, we'll take all those out and start painting them with sealing epoxy. I'm looking over your shoulder here, Roger.
Rain, are you?
Say hello to everyone.
G'day everyone, how are you today? I'm doing some epoxy work.
This is epoxy wood preserver.
Wood preserver.
It's going on all the floor bearers. There's a whole pile of them down there that have been
done already?
Been done already, yep. And then I'm taking out the brackets from inside the boat, and I've got to take out the diesel tank and the water tank and all the rest of those brackets up the other end of the boat, and they'll all get done with epoxy wood preserver, and hopefully we'll never get any dry rot in the bottom of the boat. My grandson Joss has decided to come down and help again. I think very quietly he's looking forward to seeing Jabiru in the water one day. So the more he helps, the quicker it'll happen.
Let me know if you hear Dad's car, okay?
I will. You'll probably hear it better than me anyway.
What?
You'll probably hear it better than me anyway.
I doubt it. I'm wearing earmuffs.
I don't know, you seem to be able to hear everything. You'll be worn out tonight.
What?
You'll be worn out tonight.
Maybe. I think when I get home, I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea.
A cup of tea, yeah. A nice cup of tea.
Yep.
After the epoxy primer was put on, all of the bearers and the brackets received a coat of undercoat and then a coat of enamel before they were fitted back into the boat. I won't show this every time, but for each floor panel I made a rough pattern from MDF or thin plywood, stapled it together and used that as a pattern to mark the plywood to make each panel.
Okay,
fitting the first little hatch.
right,
Right.
yeah.
I don't know if I've done it wrong or wrong. The picture's right.
Okay, there, nicely.
It should.
Yeah.
And that's it's a bit out of square that way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, sometimes they go on one way, Bill.
You have to have it the right. You have to have it the right way.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. That looks terrible. I think it puts the top now. If you make them too tight,
Yes, you end up.
you end up with them jamming.
Yeah. Right. Right, let's run this stuff down.
Okay. Before I was able to finally screw down these floor panels, I had to make allowance for the exhaust pipe. It's going to come out of the engine, go underneath the floor bearers, and then up through the floor underneath the seat on the port side, or bunk, or whatever you'd like to call it. So that's what I'm doing now, fitting that exhaust pipe so that once the floors are screwed down, I can just run that pipe through, fit it to the muffler, and away we'll go.
Oh, yeah, that's not too much pressure on there, no.
Just a little bit of explanation here. You can see on the left hand side at the back here the hole for the exhaust pipe. You saw me fitting that pipe earlier. The hatch that's also on the aft end of this floor is so that I have access to the stuffing box on the shaft, on the propeller shaft, and also there'll be a water inlet valve to supply water to the engine under there. Up on the forward end on the port side there's another hatch I've put in, and that's to have access to another valve which will supply water to the sink in the galley. So that's all there is for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've had fun doing it. These are all things that have happened about 2 to 3 months ago, so from my point of view it's old news, but I'll try and get more videos out soon. So Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.